have Shem, Amondi, Corey, and Blessed with us here today. We will be here every Wednesday at 1 o'clock-ish on Eastern time. And we are just, we're going to get together every week and talk about the focus for this month. Our event this month is on March 29th, and we will be talking about the nature of the construct. Along with that is things around disclosure, and how all of that is coming together in the time we're living in right now. We have said in the past, if you have any questions, put them in the comments and we will try to bring them up in the lives. We have one that showed up this week that we want to open up with. So I'm going to just read the question and then I'm going to open it up to the hosts here. So the question is, when the celebration happens and everything opens up, do we stop dying then? Can we see people that have died? Do we get to travel to other realms and stay there, or leave the construct altogether? So is this the end of our ant life as we know it? All right. Who wants to start with that?
Ant life.
I guess I could start.
Go for it.
Shem, are you sure, Shem? Y'all want it?
Absolutely.
Doctor, y'all want it? Okay. They gonna throw me in there to address this because they know I'm gonna be an asshole. No, I'm just playing. But the truth is, I don't know. This is an event marker that none of us have experienced before, so how will we know? All I can say is that from what I understand about the old world, everything was opened up. This is how, and I was telling them before, this is how you get Enoch traveling to seven heavens. He was taken to these places through port, maybe through stargates, whatever the case may be. So I don't know what that's going to look like. As far as death, there's no such thing as death now. So if you're asking me, do you get to keep your flesh suit and walk around in that in a new experience? That question we don't know the answer to either. At least I haven't seen that on the other side, which for me begs a more interesting question. Why would anybody want to hold on to this flesh suit as it currently stands? Because if the whole experience changes, would you want to experience that in an old flesh suit? Would you want to experience it how you experience it right now? The way we're built is built for this experience that we're currently having. So if the experience changes and the realms open up, again, just logically, it would make sense that we change too, right? So that we can experience that. Because if the realms open up, that means our frequency has to adjust. And that means go higher. It can't stay low frequency and then we experience all this high frequency stuff. Because we know that in the out of body state, you can't even experience certain things that your frequency isn't matching with. We know that. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, it begs the bigger question of why would we want not to die if death means shedding the old flesh suit and obtaining a new one, or just being in soul form and existing in that experience as a soul, as you do in the out of body state.
Right.
So I guess that's how I would,
Yeah. And what are you like? Are you just implying bodily death?
Correct.
Like I can tell you just from my own knowing of my own life, like I know I don't die this time, if that makes sense. So what does that mean even? Just because I know that, that doesn't mean I know what it looks like.
Exactly.
Does our body get an upgrade? And like like that, we're something completely different now. And you just keep going on. There's a lot of unknowns moving forward because, as Corey said, this hasn't happened before. This is new territory.
This is new territory.
Yeah. But what do you guys feel about that, Shem, Mondi?
I asked to find out information about it in one of my OBEs. I was like, let me find out what all of this fuss is about. Because I wanted to know, like, I know that I've experienced enough here to know that things go in cycles. Yeah. So this end of times thing is is an old ass story, boy. So I was like, am I just getting another narrative and another promise? Because at the end of the day, I just wanna, I'm done with it. Like, I've been here long enough. Like, if I come to the end of this and find out that this is the same old, I'm out of here. Like, that's the last time I'm running this game with you lot.
Right.
Because I'm just like over it.
Experienced enough.
Yeah. But what I was told was life as you know it's going to change. The experience as you know it's going to change. And it's got something to do with the waters. I don't have the word in, so I'm not going to word it quote for quote. At some point I will when I get my book out and write down what I heard. But for the main part, it had something to do with the waters, and life as we knew it was about to change. Everything. So when people talk about the celebration, why not celebrate? But you can celebrate now anyhow, like just for being here if you want to. You don't have to wait for that. Life is an ant here. You could change all of those things now. You can either change them in your daily waking life, or you could change them in going and exploring the OBE state. You could do all of those things. Your ideas that we've had and we've been told around death, I would liken them very much to when you're dreaming. There's this moment that you fall asleep and become in your dream life aware that you've stopped sleeping and now you're in a dream, right? It's not this long drawn out process. It's within an instance.
Right.
If we're calling that death now, which in some languages they call it the little death, it's within an instance. What are you worried about your body for anyway? It's like you don't go to sleep and then worry about your body. You just sleeping.
Just a state change.
You're already in the dream. You're not like, I wonder what my body's doing. You just,
I've never done that. I've never
who cares?
done that. I've literally seen my body sleep, and I looked at it like, okay, and move on to the next. Like, it's almost like, and I think that, and I'm glad you said that, Shem, and I'm gonna let you go, Amani, but I'm glad you said that, because it's almost like people don't understand that when you leave your body, when you look at your body, it's almost like you don't recognize that as being you, because the true you is the soul. So I look at my body and I was like, okay, and it looked like just a lump of clay, like it's just on the couch, cool. And so the question is, why do we want to experience this new thing in old rags, if that makes sense?
Yeah. That was my point at the beginning. Exactly.
Yep.
I like that saying. Yeah.
Well, my question is this: are we allowed to swear in this podcast?
You already know, because I'm about to.
Yeah. Well, this shit. I mean, let's face it. It's got to be better than this shit. And I promise you, if we have the choice to enhance our body, millions, billions of you is gonna improve the current body anyways.
Right.
Like, let's be real. Right. Some of you gonna be, how many men you gonna have over 6 foot now? I promise you, they're gonna be like, oh, you mean to tell me I can be 6'3", 6'5"?
No more short kings.
Real. Come on. I mean, now I'm not saying that there's no people that are satisfied with the way they look, but what I'm saying, when it comes to the flesh, I mean, if tomorrow you can just, like, manipulate your current body, you definitely would. So the attachment you have right now in this present moment, it's from such a place of scarcity anyway. So many of us, and even when you experience like 6 packs and stuff like that, you got to do so much work in order to get like a 6-pack, from 1 pack to 6 pack.
From a keg to a 6-pack.
Yo, I'm telling you, the work is real out here, and I'm telling you, Now, if you could like have ice cream all day, eat anything you want, and still have 6-pack, and then be over 6'3", and just and I'm not going to talk for the woman, right? Because this is not my place. But I'm just saying, like, as a man, so many of us will be like, "Oh, I'm about to fix this right now." So I'm like, if you're really honest, you don't really have to worry about that. That's the least things you want to worry about, your body. And
right.
It's
Well,
got to be better.
That would
than
go
this.
along with getting to experience this place as it was intended to be too, right?
Right.
Because then you could get that out of your system, so to speak. Like, okay,
maybe
cool,
we go
now you
back
got
to the
that.
old way.
So,
Yeah. Maybe we
Yeah.
go back to our old lives where we were all giants and had giant trees and shit everywhere.
right.
Maybe we go back to the old world experience. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
I'll
6'3"
join
would
all the
be
competition.
Very short by that point.
Every single
I
of
want to
them.
be. I want to be 6'3". I want to be 10 feet. I want to be 12 feet, 20 feet tall. Fuck that. Make me Goliath height. You know what I mean? Measure me in cubits.
What? I'll be the fastest man on earth. Sorry, Usain Bolt.
Right.
I'm talking about Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
I'm the fastest man. I'll be like, I'll do the lot. Basically, pretty much what you can do during OB. I mean,
exactly.
Like, so attachment to the flesh.
You said something, Monty, and bruh, that was beautifully stated. This attachment to the flesh is built out of scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
So also this want to keep these flesh suits is built out of fear. And I'll tell you, let's be 100% real. A lot of people don't believe, even though they're in these communities, they don't believe that OBE is real, or they don't believe it. They haven't experienced it yet, so they still have some doubt about it. And you get questions like that when there is some doubt. And not saying this person had doubt. I don't know this person, and I'm not speaking for them. I'm saying you get those type of questions when there's doubt, because you still kind of want to hang. You're still not sure that what's coming is really what's coming. And I see this all the time. Like, I see this all the time online, and people, they see the signs of shit happening, and they still like, well, is it really going to be this? Or they want to make it about religion or whatever. But
like, they got to keep one foot in the doorway back to where they used to be.
Yes,
like, all right,
yes,
I'm almost out, but just in case.
Correct. But just in case, let me keep a foot in to this sleep, into the sleep. I'm all the way out. Like, I jumped out that bitch.
In case what?
In case what? That's what I'm saying. In case what?
Right, exactly.
You have to
in case I choose the wrong side.
Right.
This is usually what it is.
Because Jim, it's because
disease and depression and everything else that brought your ass here anyway.
Correct.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, Shem. I think people still think there's a heaven and hell.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think people still are attached to that.
That's funny you brought that up, because before all of this, I was actually thinking about my grandfather, and he's passed over now. But when I was young, we used to have philosophical conversations. And I remember when he first got that was a possibility with me when I was about, I don't know, it was about 5 or something. And he was saying to me, like, I was talking to him about a film called All Dogs Go to Heaven. And he goes, well, do you believe in heaven? And I said, there's got to be heaven, but because this is hell. You can't justify all the things that we have in place and all the happenings that are happening and not call this what it is. So then everybody gets to go, when they're gone, to something better than this.
Correct.
Like, we're here searching for this hell and worried about going in it. Meantime, we're navigating through it on a daily basis and wondering why we got our blood sugar up high, why we got blood pressure, and all these other antics that happen in your life. And you see good people getting things happening to them, and you're wondering, why is there no logic to this chaos? And it's like, oh, don't try and make logic out of hell.
You know what?
That's what we anchor things in for, because now we want to make heaven on earth, right?
you know what? It's funny that what you're saying. It brings me to talk about as well the idea of a split Earth. Cut the shit out. Cut it out. Everyone's gonna get a pass, even the bad one, even the horrible one. That's just the way it is. And
more separation.
And why exactly? So that actually got me thinking about this. And the truth is, it's gonna be all okay for everybody. That's just the way.
No one's getting left behind.
So righteousness, you can leave it at the door. Judgment, leave it at the door from now. What it is like it's exactly, and it's, so your transition is easy. I mean, the easiest. You might as well start from now.
Correct.
And I think that's what it matters. That's whether your body is still the same or whatnot. Well, I'm sure that you're gonna want to alter a few things, like a lot of anyway. So
I can think
you
of
might as well start.
Things.
Yeah.
And then this idea, because I've heard it many times, you know, the 3D and some will be in the 5D and some will be left behind, and we are the chosen ones. No, cut it out.
That's just ego candy. I don't say that lightly either, but just ego candy. That's you're just
I took it like that. I took it like that because I said, so what happens on the days where I'm feeling depressed or like I want to tell everyone shut the fuck up? Does that put me back in 3D? What happens?
Mm-hmm.
How do I level back up? And I said, you know what? Cut the shit. Like,
cut
it. Good.
Right.
Yes.
How do I talk about really unconditional love for yourself, but then say that there's a place I go to? What were you doing? You're making another heaven and hell.
Correct.
3D is the hell, and that's where the shit happens, and then the heaven is the 5. Cut the shit.
Well, you know why people do that though.
Yeah, because they still believe in a certain. They still need heaven and hell.
That and then also, people want to be self-righteous.
Yeah.
Well, it's based off of approval.
Yeah, correct.
Essentially.
So these people deserve a punishment. I am not these people. I might have things that I've done wrong, but I don't think what I've done wrong is as bad as what they've done wrong. And objectively speaking, we can all say that. Like, I've done some bad stuff. I never harmed a soul.
I've done some bad stuff,
crazy, right?
but I've never done what those people have
done what those people did.
Yeah.
And so that's where this is why you get the 5D earth. And again, what Darius said in our group was everybody's going to be affected. There is no people that will be left behind and this people go on to glory. None of that shit. Everybody is celebrated at the end because everybody here, whether you think they're an evil person or a great person, is playing their part to bring about the experience that we all chose to come here and have.
Right.
Everybody. Somebody had put that in a comment under something I said. They had asked about, well, I just have a hard time understanding or understanding that people would choose, like a child would choose to come here and be on Epstein Island. I was like, but that's because you're thinking about from your perspective. You thinking about it from your soul's perspective, number one. Number two, you don't know that you haven't been that child in that situation in another experience. Right. You don't know that. Again, because of our forgetful state, it's so much we don't know. It's hard to come to grips with why people would choose to have these particular experiences.
Sorry, go on, Amondi. I'll wait.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm glad you mentioned that, Corey. The idea of people saying, "Oh, how can you say a child choose that experience?" No, you're mistaken. You're mistaken now. It's not what we mean. What we mean is a soul choose that experience.
Exactly.
It's not the child
soul,
didn't.
Not a child. A soul
choose that experience. That's the thing, and I think a lot of people forget, like, to look at that perspective from a soul perspective, and they see it from an earthly perspective.
Right, and I was going to add to that the idea you brought up earlier, the detachment you had for your body when you were out of it. Like, you are in your actor role here right now, and you're forgetting that from the other side of things, you're viewing it as just a potential experience. Like, it's much more neutral. Like, you listen to countless testimonies about this from other people who've had NDEs or OBs or whatever. There's a detachment when you're not in this, that
Absolutely.
you're not getting when you're seeing these events play out while you're in
Correct.
the role. You're
Yeah.
moralizing from this
Because
standpoint and not from the soul standpoint.
because to your point, you're an observer of this experience.
Right.
Whereas when you hear, you're experiencing it and all the emotions that are attached to it.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Right.
Almighty, go ahead. But like
Yeah.
that I'm glad you kind of want to stay in this vein, because we really need to address how people are viewing their experience. And I think that's part of what this event is going to be talking about as far as the nature of the construct. It's not, people just want to know about the physical attributes associated with the construct, but the construct comes from within. So we got to address the internal part of it as well. And how we view the experience is very much what's creating the construct in the first place. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Also, that got me thinking about you, Shem. All the experiences you've had, many instances you had as well, or as a child. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of that, because for you to choose to tell or not. But I know about them, and I know that we often look at our lives from a linear perspective. Well, there was a beginning when I was born, and then there's the part when I'm going to cross over. I will keep on trying to see it that way.
right.
But right now, even the relinquishing the idea of judgment is important, because that's not your only instance. It's not your only life. So you might have been that person that it is these BS, and in real time right now, or part of you is doing it right now. And some of us share certain instances. Hence
Right.
why you go at night, have that dream like, oh wow, that was horrible. Oh, that must not be me. It may be a maybe not you directly, but definitely a part of you, or part of you soul, something you share with another person right now in this realm. So kind of like judging people, you judging yourself. We are all connected, so it's impossible to judge people and not judge yourself. And you
Yeah.
realize very quickly in your daily life, when you do that, trying to notice what happened when you do that. When you're very, very judgmental, try to notice the very judgmental days you have, and see how this impact you and it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the problem for a lot of people. They only see this current life right now. So they get into the judgment because they can't possibly fathom the idea that they might have been this, this dead master.
Right. They're not pulling back far enough. That you're a little too lost in the sauce with this experience, and pulling back to be the casual observer of all that's going on.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what's supposed to be happening. So I don't even judge those people. You came here in a forgetful state. You're not supposed to remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
So the truth is, the people like us who have ventured out and want to have the experience outside of the body are it's kind of a cheat code, because technically we're supposed to be in here in forgetfulness, right? Stay in a forgetful state to have an honest experience. Well, now that I know what I know that my experience is not just shaped by this experience I'm currently having, but every experience that I'm currently having in every realm, in other construct. The soul is infinite. The soul is omnipresent, meaning it's everywhere. You're existing in not only in this construct, but in other constructs and other realms and kingdoms, all at the same time.
Right.
And so once you come to that understanding, it's easier to pull back and look. But if you don't feel that, if you can't resonate with the fact that you exist beyond, a lot of people, even in the spiritual community, recognize that they are soul and they're eternal, but they don't recognize how powerful the soul is. They think a soul is just your spirit version of your current flesh suit.
Right.
Because
It's supposed to boggle your
ethereal.
mind. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
It's wind.
Yeah.
It's
correct.
very
Correct.
And to the point of that, I just saw that question about in the world versus of the world. This is actually what we're referencing right now. Like, if you're in the world, you recognize that you're having an experience, and you are beyond what's happening, but you're not getting so lost in it that now it's an obsession and you've kind of lost your way.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I would say also the non-judgment piece is something that trips a lot of people up as well, because it makes it sound like you're bypassing other people's experiences, or that you are not willing to hold anyone accountable for quote unquote evil or bad behavior, when
Right.
that's not the case.
Nope.
Those things are going to play out regardless.
Mhm.
And, you know, if anyone's real, like, ask yourself, would you let somebody get away with something if you could defend yourself? No, you would defend yourself.
Right.
And that's
Correct.
totally okay to defend yourself, because we're in this realm where you can do harm. When we're in the other realm, you don't need to defend yourself as such, because no one can really
Nobody can
harm
really
you
harm
unless you
you.
believe them to
You
do
believe it.
so, and yada, yada, yada.
Right.
But speaking to why some people put themselves through certain experiences when they're young and why they go through certain things, what I would also say is we're to follow the thread of truth when it comes to people having the journey of building up your willpower over here,
Mhm.
and being able to exert that will, and the stretch it's going to take some souls to do so. And sometimes these things are forged in the fire. Sometimes these things are forged in the trauma, so that you can have deeper understandings for the things that your soul
Mhm.
requires to know by the
Mhm.
time you have to do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, your childhood was what it was. You experienced what you did. Your soul decided that. But the expansion that the experience gave your soul is the same expansion that was required for you to do the things you wanted to do at the other end of your soul journey,
Yeah.
for the experience. So by the time you reach a certain age in your experience, you're ready.
Yeah.
You're ready. And are you going to flinch? No, I'm not going to flinch. You know why? Because yada, yada, yada. Are you going to?
Mhm.
Right. It's like you've got
It's
different
not a
little portions
test, but
of a canvas painted in as you go through your life. And it's like, well, I have no idea what that is or that is. And then as you continue, it's like it starts filling in and you're like, oh, that's what those
Yeah.
moments. Yeah. Everything is set up just to get you to where you're going in just such a way.
even
And
things
you
that don't make
really got to
sense.
trust in that. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
At
can
the
be
time, it's
completely
like,
nonsensical.
why am I? What? Or why me? And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I know why me.
Well,
Mhm.
Right.
about it's actually interesting. You're talking about the things that don't make sense. A lot of the time, it's difficult for people to make sense of it because they are in absolute duality.
Mhm.
One things that help me let go or even caring in judging people is about telling myself, like, you know what if someone walk free? How's that make me feel? And you know what I found out? I found a lot of the things I wasn't better than these people, because my only reason of caring, it was so I can look good. I'm
Mhm.
not the bad one.
I'm not the bad
And I
guy.
was like, well, that's not really a good reason, is it?
Yeah.
And then again, even saying this, it's like, I mean, full blown in duality. And I realized how anchored in duality I was. So part of me, it was like, I got to let go of that fully.
Mhm.
Be willing to see people that have done the most horrific things, just going back to love, and then just going home, sit beside me, and not feel any way about it. And that's the next step anyway, regardless.
Correct.
I mean, we can still stay in this linear timeline and convince ourselves we did so well during this lifetime and we were so good, and be shattered
And then
because
what?
you're gonna have a life review about a previous life you did that, and they're gonna tell you, Lisa, we sent you because you were such an arsehole the previous life. So that is you correcting that part.
Correct.
Yeah,
for
you
your
ever hear
soul's
about
expansion.
Pol Pot? Well, guess what, buddy? That's like,
So
that was you.
So even the thing I thought I didn't understand, no, I refused to understand it. And even down to the manifestation of it all, I realized the only reason I don't manifest very well, I'm getting upset to see some people gain stuff in their life because they're not good people, is because I care too much of the duality. And I realize manifestation and be good has nothing to see with one another. The universe does not
Does
care
not
if you're
care.
good or bad.
Bad.
Yep.
They're not.
So,
So
for the sake of improving my experience, had to be, coming to terms with that. And I know
Correct.
for the next step ahead, this is what a lot of us are going to have to do. And
Yep.
no one's going to be left behind. And you got to be okay with that.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Essentially,
Now
that's what it was. For me.
let me say this: the absence of judgment does not equal the absence of consequences,
Right.
because we live in this duality. And this experience means if you do stuff and you get caught, there's usually consequences involved for all of us, the littlest thing to the biggest thing.
Right.
And we're seeing that now, and I'm glad we talking about this, because it kind of shifts to the disclosure part. We're seeing that with the disclosure. So you're gonna start seeing people get punished for the things that just because it's not happening in the timeline you want it to happen in, don't mean that it's not happening. Just because it's not happening where you can see it on TV or on your, social media feed, doesn't mean things aren't happening. So I just kind of, again, the consequences will be the consequences, but even that don't have nothing to do with me. Like, I'm not going to be the one dishing out the consequences. I have consequences that I'm gonna have to deal with for things that I've done. When I get to my life review, I'm sure we all gonna have some things that when we have to feel that from the other person's perspective, we're gonna be like, God damn, I was fucking up.
Well,
like,
that's
you know what I mean?
That's the ultimate, like,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to say justice or anything like that, because it's really not that, but having to face yourself and acknowledge the things that you did,
correct,
and how it felt to others,
this,
like, that's plenty on its own.
And to your point, Corey, as well, and what you just said, Bless, as well. For me, the question was like, can this happen? All you said, all the thing you said about disclosure, without you indulging in your own personal satisfaction about it.
There you go.
Right.
Can that happen without
Maybe it's
that?
not supposed to be for you to have your own personal satisfaction about what's going on, because it ain't your business.
Right.
Mind your damn business.
Mind your business that pay you. Like, So what if the point of disclosure is so we know everything?
Right. It's not
the
for
point
your
of
Schadenfreude.
Correct.
It's not for you to delight in the misery of others. It's not
correct.
For that.
Because if you do delight in the misery of the people who are going to be punished, then you are operating outside of love. Because truth be told, if your child, if you were the father or mother of a Jeffrey Epstein, would you love your child any less?
Right.
Okay. So this is like,
but this
would
is
you
the jokes? Maybe his mom does love him less. Like,
I don't
who
know.
knows?
That's what I'm saying. I don't
but
know.
Guess
that. But
what?
I'm saying,
who cares?
Who
and
cares?
that's the main thing.
That ain't your business.
It's true.
It's just all of these little things are not your business. Your business is your own frequency at any given moment.
But to you both point, it is true what you say, Corey, it's true what you say, Shem. But one thing's got to be admitted. A lot of people, it's all okay until it's them and it's their own child, and it doesn't apply. So the thing is, it's why you got to check yourself before you even in that situation, even regardless.
Exactly. Because if one of my children turn out to be a murderer, I ain't gonna stop loving them. I'm gonna let them face the consequences of being a murderer. Of course, they go into prison, they get executed, whatever that looks like. Again, the rules here are clear. But I'm gonna love my child all the way to the end of it. Like, why would I stop loving my child? Like,
I'm gonna say something on that though.
Yeah.
Some people don't love their kid for absolutely less reasons than that.
Some people don't love their kids at all.
And,
I'm talking about for most of us.
As far as the justice thing is concerned, we've all realized that don't work the way they set it up either, because no two killings are for the same reason.
True.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, why did you is my first question.
Yeah. And like I said, when I say that, I'm only speaking from personal. Like, I don't know what other people do.
Right.
Like, and so the thing is, go back to what you said, Shem. It ain't our business what these other people got going on in their experience.
No.
As a matter of fact, the more you spend your time on it, the more you are manifesting more of it.
Yep.
Because you're projecting on them from a place of not knowing the full story.
Yep.
And then that leads you to you're opening up way more timelines that need to be opened up about that whole entire story. you're feeding it. You're feeding the story, and you're making it something that's more augmented, which means that getting to what the truth is even more harder.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why they want you to look at certain things.
Correct.
Because the more you look at it, the more you speculate. And speculation is a thought process in itself. And these thoughts become things, and they make their own entities. And then that's when you're really lost in the source.
You're not focused on yourself, and you're not focused on like what would truly matter to you if you were to just step back and assess that. All that energy and focus is going like everywhere else.
What if you put all that energy on these people and find out they ain't even really people? They realm 2 beings, and then you're gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck? I thought this was Epstein," and you find out Epstein is not even a real human.
So how you apply justice now, eh?
How you like what are we talking about? So this is what I say, man. Just watch this shit unfold. Yeah, should we? Do we have to? What do we do?
But they got better technology than us.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. We need the technology, so
I mean, we got it. We got their technology actually. So I mean, that's what the people who in the group who went to Antarctica told me. So we got it. Like we got all of that stuff, and we've had it for a long time, which is why you had abductions and shit all the way for the last 70 years. That was the trade-off
in the first place.
That was the trade-off in the first place.
They've been trading people's backside. Like this is not old.
It's not old. You just didn't know about it, and now we about to know about it. So I ain't looking for retribution. I'm looking for information and understanding and confirmation of the shit I done seen.
Yeah.
Like that's it. I want to see what I know to be true come to be true, so I can be like, damn, that's kind of dope to see this shit real. Shit, it really is like that. That really is real.
And sometimes I even if I find it's real, it's like, and then what?
And then what? No, and that's the crazy part about it. We just gonna move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? Another thing as well. Maybe we need to begin to be okay with the idea that if you can think it, you can create it. Therefore, everything is true.
Everything.
By definition.
Yes.
You don't just think of something by coincidence. Trust me.
Correct.
It is out there.
Yeah. Any thoughts you can think from
that was a big one.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I think we're gonna have to leave it on that for today. Maybe we pick it up from there next week. But wow, anything you can think is true. So it's all true. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut it short, but we do need to head off to another thing. But we will be here every Wednesday around 1 o'clock ish, maybe a little bit after Eastern time. Also, we're gearing up for our event on March 29th, where we will be having a discussion on the nature of the construct, on disclosure, on things that are going on right now and matter. And we want you to be part of that conversation. So it's going to be expanding on what we talk about in these lives. And that's really the place where we can speak freely and share and come together in dialogue, right? It's no longer just a one-sided conversation. It's a dialogue with us all.
And share stuff we've seen.
Yes.
It's stuff that we're having experiences out of our bodies, and it's stuff that we've been seeing. I know Shem has been seeing stuff. I've been seeing stuff. Like we're getting to the point where now we can share things we've seen. And so be there.
Yeah, be there. The link to register is in the bio. We had a couple other events last couple months, one on manifestation, one on fear, one on relationships and contracts. If you missed those and you want to catch those, you can get those on the website. If you just go under the shop and go to courses, they're listed under courses. So lots of good stuff being discussed and brought to light together as a community. So just thank you for everyone who's here. If you are on here on Awaken to Joy and you haven't gone and followed The Great Unlock on YouTube, please do so, just so we can get more content pushed out on that side as well. So thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. All right, love to all. Ciao.